Let's start. Today we are going to start second chapter, that is Polynomials, for class 9th. To understand this particular chapter very clearly, you'll have to understand each and every topic very clearly. Until you practice each thing thrice or even more than that, it won't be clear to you. So let's start polynomials. Polynomials. What are basically polynomials? So before starting on with polynomials, we will first start on with terms. What are terms? Mainly, what are polynomials? So polynomials are basically terms, and when we come across terms, we get to know algebraic expression. Here we start on with polynomials, algebraic expression, and we all know that what is algebraic expression? It is a combination of variables and constants connected by plus, minus, multiply, divide, sum, or all operations. So what is algebraic expression? Algebraic expression, it is a combination of variables and constants connected by plus, minus, multiply or divide any of the sign. It can constitute all of these signs or any among these signs. This is basically algebraic expression. Now in algebraic expression we came across two terms, that is variable and constant. So let's understand what is variable. The word variable means varies. The word variable means varies, which means keeps changing. Which means keeps changing. The quantity whose value is not fixed is called variable. The quantity whose value is not fixed is called variable. In mathematics, we consider alphabets, that is A to Z, as variable. We consider it as variable. All from A to Z, we consider it as variable. All the quantity whose value is not fixed is called variable. For example, circumference of a circle. We can take an example that circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi r or pi d, where we can see that this 2 is a constant term because its value is fixed. Again, pi is also a constant term because its value is 22/7. But this r is not a constant term, it is a variable which depends upon the circle, which is r, that is radius. So it keeps on changing. So the quantity whose value is not fixed is called variable, and the quantity whose value is fixed is called constant. Let me write over here. Constant. The quantity whose value is fixed is called constant. All the quantity whose value is fixed is called constant. Example 2, 5, 7, pi, all of these are constant term because its value is fixed. And even we can consider fractional terms, that is 1/2, in negative integers, -6, -9, etc. Any quantity whose value is fixed is called constant, and the quantity whose value is not fixed is called variable. This was algebraic expression, and we have studied about algebraic expression in previous classes. What we are going to discuss here is polynomial. So three things which is most important for polynomial. Three things which is most important for polynomial is the first thing variable, which we studied just now. Second thing is constant, and the third thing is non-negative integer. We all are aware with variable and constant. Now we will study non-negative integer. Non-negative integer. Now what are non-negative integers? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. These are non-negative integers. The integer which should not be negative. The integers which should not be negative are known as non-negative integers. The integers which are not negative are known as non-negative integers. As we all know, what integers are? Both positive and negative numbers including 0 are integers, but here we are talking about non-negative integer. So the integer which should not be negative, the integer which is not negative, that is it will start on with 0 and end anywhere, somewhere around infinity, we can call it as non-negative integers which should not be negative, are known as non-negative integers. Now these are the three important things which make up the polynomial. So how we can define polynomial? A simple definition of a polynomial: an algebraic expression in which the variable involved have only non-negative integral power. So what is polynomial? It is an algebraic expression. What is algebraic expression? As I told you earlier, combination of variable and constant separated by either plus, minus, multiply or divide sign. An algebraic expression in which the variable involved have only non-negative integral power is known as polynomial. Now let's make it more clear by understanding general expression of polynomial. किसी भी polynomial को हम लोग कैसे पहचान सकते हैं? By using general expression of polynomial. Now we are talking about general expression of polynomial. Let Px be a polynomial, then what is the general expression for a polynomial? Px will be equal to a0 x0 plus a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 and so on. That is last term an xn. This is the general expression of polynomial. We can recognize any polynomial from this given expression. Let us understand this expression. a0 x0 a1 x1 a2 x2 a3 x3 an xn. Why is this expression so important? Let's take an example. First term, that is a0 x0. Anything to the power 0 will be equal to 1. a0 multiplied to 1. What do we get? a0. And what is this a1, a2, a3? These are constant term because x we are using it as variable term. So a0, this will be a constant term. Let here a0 equal to 2. Then what do we get? We just get 2. This is a constant term. Now let's take this particular example. a1 x1. Suppose a1 is equal to 3. What do we get? 3x1. That is 3x. And this is again a polynomial. Let's take this example. a2. Let me write. It is a polynomial. We will discuss more about types of polynomial, that is monomial, binomial, trinomial, but here I am just writing it as polynomial. Third is a2 x square. Suppose let a2 equal to 5. What do we get? 5x square. This is again a polynomial. So this is the general expression of a polynomial, that is a0 x0, where a0, a1, a2, a3, these all are constant terms, and x0, x1, x2, x3 up to x to the power n, these are variable terms. So this is the general expression for polynomial. Now let us understand the next topic that is more important, is degree of polynomial. Degree of polynomial. What is degree of polynomial? The highest power of a polynomial is known as degree of polynomial. The highest power of a degree of polynomial is known as degree of. The highest power of a polynomial is known as degree of polynomial. Let us take an example. 2x cube plus 5x square minus 7x plus 5. Suppose we have an example of polynomial px is equal to 2x cube plus 5x square minus 7x plus d. So what will be the degree of this particular polynomial? The degree will be 3. Why 3? Because the highest power of the variable is 3. X cube. Here again we have x but the power is 2. Here again we have x but the power is 1. And here we don't have any variable. If we put a variable x over here, then what will imply? X to the power 0. That is 1. 1 multiplied by 5 will be equal to 5. So what is the highest power of the variable in this particular polynomial? 3. X cube. This is the highest power. So what will be its degree? 3. What is degree? The highest power of a polynomial is known as degree of the polynomial. I hope it is clear. Let's take one more example. 9x square plus 5x plus 3. What is its degree? Again, it's degree is 2 because the highest power involved in a variable is 2. Let's take one more example. 9x square plus root 2 x plus 5. What is its degree? Again, the highest power of x is 2. Here we have nothing, that is 1. So its degree is 2. Its degree is 2. Let's take one more example. 5x square plus root x plus 3. What will be its degree? What will be its degree? First of all, it is not a polynomial. We calculate a degree of a polynomial. It is not a polynomial. Why it is not a polynomial? Because when we will solve it, we will write 5x square plus x will be written as x to the power of 1 by 2. Whenever we remove root, we put a power 1 by 2. 5x square plus x to the power 1 upon 2 plus 3. So this is not a polynomial. Why it is not a polynomial? Power of x should not be negative. Power of x should not be negative. Fraction or irrational number. So it is not a polynomial. So we cannot find the degree of this particular given polynomial. It is very much important to remember that if the power of x is a negative number or a fraction number or an irrational number, then the given expression is not polynomial. This is very important note. If the power of x, let me write f over here. If power of x should not be negative. Power of x should not be negative, fraction or irrational number, then the given expression is not polynomial. Is it clear, everyone? So this is how we can classify degree of polynomial. Now let's see the classification of polynomial. Classification of polynomial. This is again a very important concept. Classification of polynomial. Classification of polynomial. Polynomials are classified on two bases. First basis, on the basis of degree. And what is the second? This is the first, and what is the second? On the basis of terms. Polynomials are classified on two bases, that is on the basis of degree and on the basis of terms. Let us understand why I am saying on the basis of degree. If any expression has 0 degree, it will be a constant term. How constant? Because we can write 5. What is 5? 5 is a constant term. We can write as 5 multiplied by x to the power 0. Anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. So we get 5. And what is the highest power of x here? Is 0. So if it is 0 degree, it will be a constant term. If it is 1 degree, what do we get? We get linear polynomial. Why am I saying 1? Let's take an example. 2x. This is an example of linear polynomial. What is the highest power of x over here? What is the highest power, that is the highest degree of x? It is 1. So if the highest degree is 1, it is a linear polynomial. 2 degree. If any expression is of 2 degree, what do we get? Quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. 2x square. What is the highest power of x? The highest power of x is 2. If the degree is 2, what do we get? We get a quadratic polynomial. Similarly, 3 degree. What do we get? We get cubic polynomial. That is 5x cube. What is the highest power of x? The highest power of x is 3. In any expression, if the highest power involved is 3, we get a cubic polynomial. Let's make it more clearly. In all the given terms, we can substitute a constant term. That is, we can write it only 5. 1 degree, that is linear polynomial. We can write it as ax plus b, where a and b both are constant term, but a is not equal to 0. What will happen if a equal to 0? We get x, a multiplied, that is, if a will be equal to 0, then 0 multiplied by x will be 0. 0 plus b. We are only left with a constant. Where will we go? We will go into constant term. That is 0 degree. Quadratic polynomial. We can write it as ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b and c, all of these are constant terms, and b and c can be equal to 0 and a is not equal to 0. This is the condition. A is not equal to 0. Why? If a will be equal to 0, that is 0 multiplied by x square, this whole term will be 0. What do we get? bx plus c, and bx plus c, we will move on to linear polynomial. If b and c will be equal to 0, b equal to 0, we will multiply 0 with x, we will get 0, and c will be 0. Then 0 plus 0 will again be 0. What do we get? Ax square. That will be an example of quadratic polynomial. Cubic polynomial can be written as ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Any of these terms. Similarly, where a, b, c and d, all of these terms are constant terms. Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, where b, c and d can be equal to 0. Why? If they can be equal to 0, this does not changes our criteria. B will be 0, this whole term will be 0. C is 0, this whole term will be 0. D is 0, this whole term will be 0. But we are left with ax cube, and the highest power of x is 3, so it will be a cubic polynomial. And a should not be equal to 0. What will happen? If a will be equal to 0, this term will be 0. We are left with bx square plus cx plus d, which is similar to ax square plus bx plus c. So we'll move on to quadratic polynomial. I hope it is clear to you all. Now let's see classification of polynomials on the basis of terms. On the basis of terms. The first one is monomial. Monomial. Or polynomial containing only one term is called monomial. It should be a non-zero term. Zero नहीं होना चाहिए. What is monomial? A polynomial which have only one term is called monomial. Example: 7, 3x, 5xy by 2. These all are example of monomial because they all have only one term. They are not connected by any of the sign, that is plus, minus, multiply or divide. They only have one term, so it is monomial. Let's move on to second, that is binomial. A polynomial containing two terms is called binomial. A polynomial in which there will be two terms is called binomial. Let's take an example: 5x plus 6, x minus 3y, 5x square y plus 2yz. These all are example of binomial because these all have two terms. If in any of the polynomial, if we have two terms, then that is called binomial. Similarly, we have trinomial in which we have three terms. Trinomial, polynomial, containing three terms is called trinomial. Example: x square plus 5x plus 6, 7x square plus 5x plus 9. In each of these expressions we have three terms: first, second, third, first, second, third. So this is an example of trinomial. These are trinomial. Now the next is polynomial. Poly means many. An expression having 4 or more than 4 terms are known as polynomial. So this is how we categorize polynomials on the basis of their terms, that is monomial, binomial, trinomial and polynomial. So this was your introduction for polynomial chapter. In the next class we will study about zeros of polynomial, that is values of polynomials, and geometrical meaning of zeros of polynomial. Till then, do watch the video. Thank you.